Welcome to Aparigraha class. In classical Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 limbs of the yoga. And the first two limbs are yamas and niyamas. And these are like the ethics and the morals of yoga. One of the yamas is called Aparigraha. And this gets translated to non-hoarding. So hoarding is keeping everything to yourself and not sharing. So the opposite of hoarding, non-hoarding, could be generosity, maybe sharing. So that'll be the focus for today's class. And we'll start out with seated posture, with breathing. I'm sitting up on a meditation cushion. So my hips are a little higher than my knees. You might want to sit on a folded blanket or a block. Let your sitting bones plug down into the earth. Let your legs be heavy. You could even press on them a little bit. And from this rooted, grounded connection, we'll start to grow up tall through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows back a little bit, so we can allow the heart to rise forward and up. Humble tuck of the chin. And from here, if you're comfortable, I welcome you to close your eyes. We'll come into a yogic breath. In and out of the nose. Softly allowing the belly to expand on the inhale. And on the exhale, belly can gently fall. Maybe at the end of the exhale, drawing in just slightly, using the muscles of the abdomen to press out the last of the air and make room for the next breath. In gently through the nose, softly expanding through the belly. We spend several moments here at the beginning of practice bring the mind into the breath. And bring the breath into the body, starting to align these layers of being. These koshas. And staying with this breath, gently bring your eyes open and we can start to bring some movement into this breath. And so the first thing I'll offer here is a mudra, pushpanjali. So this is the palms of the hands facing upwards, cupped, pinky fingers together, thumbs on the outside. And pushpanjali generally held at the level of the heart. And this is literally an offering of flowers to the gods, is the meaning for pushpanjali. So it is an offering gesture, and it is one of generosity and certainly non-hoarding. So a nice symbol for Aparigraha. To bring some movement into our breath, we could start at the level of the heart, and then with the exhale could serve forward. And then inhale, come up. We can exhale, bring the hands softly down. And from here, we can start to cup the hands, scoop them in together, gathering petals, gathering flowers. Inhaling to the level of the heart. Exhaling to serve these forward, leading with the heart. Inhale, Palms rise up, showering these petals down, and exhale. Hands gently sweeping out to the side. We scoop up the petals. If it feels okay to you, you could close your eyes. Following the speed of your own breath. And letting this be a practice of sharing and generosity. Gathering up from an unending source of petals. Serving up and out. We'll take one more cycle like this, scooping up the petals, gathering them into the heart, serving them forward, the heart rising, inhaling the palms up, showering the petals down, and exhale, the palms come gently into your lap. We'll take a moment here to say farewell to seated practice for now. And then we can come forward onto the hands and knees. So we'll take some brief cat paws here, lifting up on the heel of the hand, peeling the fingers off, bending the wrist, the elbow, and setting it back down. Moving at your own speed here, letting this be a gentle warm-up for all the joints of the fingers, and the hand, and the wrist. And then when that feels like enough, you can set your palms down underneath your shoulders, spreading your fingers out and pressing into your finger pads. Knees are underneath the hips so that the thigh bones are vertical. And from here, we can take a cat and cow. So we'll inhale, lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin, and then exhale, tailbone tucks under, chin tucks in, moving at the speed of your own breath, allowing this to be gentle and easy, especially to start out. Warming up all the sections of the spine, feeling a little movement in the hips and in the shoulders. And then when that feels like enough, we'll come into tabletop, redefine our foundation, spreading out all the fingers, palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And from here, we will step back through the right leg. So letting the top of the pelvis be steady and level. Tucking the toes under and getting a nice little stretch through the back of the calf. And then from here, if it feels okay, you can float the back heel up to about hip height. The pelvis is still level, drawing in on the tummy here, so to keep the back long, give some strength to the spine. If this feels okay, you can reach out with your opposite arm, kicking back through the heel, pointing forward through the fingers, straight wrist, straight elbow, long through the back of the neck, so your gaze is down towards the mat. And drawing up through the tummy. We'll take one more deep breath in here. And then exhale slowly, quietly setting both hands, both knees down. You could take a little wiggle here if you like. And then we step back through the other foot this time, tucking the toes under. Keeping the pelvis level. And then preparing strength in the back by drawing up through the abdomen. And if it feels okay, allowing the back heel to rise up. Toes are pointed down towards the mat. The top of the pelvis is level and steady. And if this feels okay, you can reach up, opposite arm, straight wrist. All the fingers together, kicking back through the heel, long diagonal line across the body. Drawing in and up through the tummy, giving support to the spine. We take one more deep breath in here. And then exhale, slowly, quietly, both hands, both knees, come back down to the mat. You can open the knees a little bit and then let the hips sink back into Balasana, child's pose. The hips are heavy, anchored, and then the spine can waterfall forward. Head can be supported by the ground, and if the head doesn't quite reach, you can find a prop for underneath the head. Maybe a block, cushion. Expanding long through both sides of the waist. Allowing the arms to stretch forward. Gentle traction through the spine. Hips anchoring back. Heart aiming forward. When that feels like enough, we will slide forward onto our tummy. And I'm going to grab a block. Invite you to take a block as well. So we're going to come into a Sphinx pose with the block in between our hands. So we want the block on the widest level and in kind of nestled in between the fingers and the thumb. And we want the forearms to be parallel to one another. So the elbows could be underneath the shoulders, or if that feels kind of crunchy for the lower back, you could always shift the elbows forward a little bit. We'll press both feet, the shoelace portion of both feet, into the mat. Even the baby toes, baby toenails, pressing into the mat. And then from here, we go long through our tail, send the tailbone down towards the heels. This will activate the muscles of the abdomen a little bit. So it tends to draw the tummy up towards the spine, helps take out any crunching in the lower back. And from here, pressing in a little bit on the block, and then without moving the hands, we can draw the hands and the elbows backwards to give the feeling of rising or offering the heart forward. The chin can be level with the ground. Staying long through the back of the neck, pressing the toenails down, drawing the tail back, offering the heart forward. And then if you find that your heart and your neck are sinking down a little bit, you could press into both elbows, both forearms, to grow your neck long like a swan, letting the heart rise upwards and forward. We'll take one more deep breath here in Sphinx pose, and then we'll relax the elbows out. You can stack the hands, head comes onto the hands, knees can bend, feet come up towards the ceiling. And we can take a little windshield wiper side to side with the legs. And from here, I have the opportunity to try Sphinx pose again, or if you like, can draw the tummy up more, tuck the toes under, and come up into a plank pose. So here the tail grows long towards the heels, pressing down with the forearms, and then pushing a little bit on the toes to serve the heart forward. Back of the neck is long. Tummy is drawing in, giving support to the spine. Take a few more breaths here. Coming down to rest with your knees anytime you want. One more deep breath in. And then exhale all the way back. Block comes forwards. We can bring the hands back alongside the rib cage. Press up into a tabletop, tuck the toes under, and then gently press the hips back into a downward dog. Feet are parallel to one another. Heels are heavy. Knees can be bent to allow the sitting bones to shine up towards the sky. And the back of the neck is long, head is heavy. Finding the breath here, slow and even, in and out of the nose. And then from here, starting to come towards standing practice. Bend the knees even more, bring the gaze up in between the hands, and then slowly step the feet to a position in behind the hands. And let the knees be bent here. The upper body can relax onto the thighs. Back of the neck is long, so the head is heavy. Feet are parallel. If you like, you could grab opposite elbows. Allowing the spine to lengthen downwards. Maybe taking a gentle sway side to side. From here, we'll press down into both feet. Keep the knees a little bent. Draw up through the stomach. We'll charge up through the legs. Reach all the way up until we're standing in Tadasana at the front of the mat. So we can find a position with the feet about hip distance apart. That's the easiest for balance. Or you can bring your big toes to touch. And from here, we'll find that same Aparigraha practice of pushpanjali. So we can try this first with our hands meeting, coming in front of the chest. Take an inhale here. Exhale to serve the hands forward. Inhale to reach up, showering petals down. And then we can reach out wide with the hands, scoop the cupped hands, returning to the heart. Exhaling forward. Inhaling upward, showering petal down. This time we can bring in some bend of the knees, any amount, scooping petals up. Option to keep the knees bent as the hands come in towards the heart. Tummy draws in as we serve the palms forward. Inhale to reach up. And then we can exhale. Palms start to reach out. We straighten the legs. And then as we reach down, we can scoop up again. Option to keep the knees bent. Here in a chair pose, Utkatasana, pushpanjali in towards the chest, drawing the tummy in as we serve the heart forward. Inhale, petals shower down, and then we can reach up, straighten the legs as the hands come down. One more time, scooping low into Utkatasana. Inhale these petals in towards the heart and then exhale, serving them forward. Inhale, showering petals down and reaching all the way up. From here, we can take the hands to the hips. We can get lighter through the right foot, pressing our weight down through the left foot. And then we can take a step back into a warrior one. So we'll slide the back heel down towards the floor. Press into the outside edge of the back foot, and the front knee stays straight or stays bent. Knee over the ankle with the kneecap shining out over the middle toe. We're going down through the tailbone, drawing in through the tummy, lending support to the spine. From here, we can reach the arms up, open them wide, without bending or straightening the legs, leaving the legs where they are. We can scoop in, pushpanjali into the heart, exhale, offering it forward. Inhale, showering petals down. We'll try this one more time. Scooping petals. Spine stays tall, drawing into the heart. Exhale, offering forward. Inhale, arms go up. And then from here, we'll take the hands forward and down. We'll let the back heel come up. And we are into a plank pose. Option here to come down onto your knees or to lower through a push-up onto your belly. From here, we can come into a cobra or into a sphinx. That would be with the elbows coming down. Whatever spine extension you like, and then we'll exhale, head comes down, hands come back beside the ribs, and we'll move back into a tabletop. Option to take a child's pose here or to come all the way up into a downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Letting the knees be bent, back of the neck is long, sitting bones shining up. From here, we can bend the knees a little bit. We'll bring the gaze forward and step forward with the right foot this time. The left foot comes back, and we are finding a warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, with the right foot forward this time. Right knee is bent over top of the ankle, knee shines out over the middle toe. Outside edge of the back foot is pushing forward or is pushing back into the mat. And we have the knee points pointing straight forward, so hips are aligned. And inhale up with the arms, reaching wide. Scoop into these petals. Pushpanjali into the heart. Exhale, offering forward. Inhale, showering petals down. And exhale, palms come out and wide. We scoop in. Inexhaustible supply of spiritual petals. Offering forward, inhaling to shower them on ourselves. And one more time, reaching out and up, gathering the petals into Pushpanjali, offering them forward. Inhaling all the way forward, and then we can bring hands onto the hips. We can let the back heel to float up a little bit. We'll find some softness in both knees, a bit of a bounce here. And then we can take as many steps as it takes to come up to Tadasana, mountain pose at the front of the mat. So we'll take that again in a different order. This time we'll step back with the left leg. We'll start with the arms coming up. We'll inhale. We'll scoop, bending down, scooping into the petals. Option for the knees to stay bent. Pushpanjali comes into the heart. Exhaling, the offering forward. Inhaling to shower over. And stand all the way up. And then from here, we will grow light through the through the left foot. And then we'll reach back, this time, starting in warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, the right foot forward, the left foot back. Hips pointing forwards. From here, we can reach up with the hands, Spine stays tall and straight as we gather the petals in, pushpanjali to the heart. Exhale forward. Inhale, showering petals. Exhale, scooping them up into the heart. Exhale forward, showering them down. Last time, scooping the petals in, pushpanjali to the heart. Exhale forward. Inhale, and then this time the arms reach out and reach down. And this time I'll show what this looks like on from the other view. We'll lift up through the back heel, press down through both palms onto the mat, step back into a child's pose, into a plank, or into a tabletop with knees down. Here you have the option to lower from your knees or to lower from a push-up. You can untuck your toes and come back into a Sphinx pose, or if you like, into a cobra, heart serving forward, elbows drawing back. Take one more deep breath in here, and then as we exhale, slowly coming down, toes tuck under, hands can press up into a tabletop, and eventually into a downward dog. Letting the knees be bent, feet are parallel, back of the neck is long. Finding the breath here. And as you're ready, you can bend your knees a little bit. Look up in between your hands, and this time we'll step forward with the left foot. The right heel comes down to the mat behind you, pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. Front knee drops down over the front elbow, over the front ankle. Hips are pointing forward. And from here, you can let the arms rise up. Sweep down, cupping the hands, gathering up these petals. Pushpanjali comes into the heart. Exhale, offering forward. Inhale, showering petals down, reaching out, drawing up with the petals into the heart, offering them forward, serving through the heart, and petals dropping down. One last time, gathering petals into the heart, offering pushpanjali forward, and then with an inhale, petals shower down, arms come down. We can find the arms on the hips, hands on the hips. We'll lift the back heel up, find some softness, a bit of bounce, and then as many steps as it takes to find Tadasana, mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll take a different variation now. We can inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend through the knees, Utkatasana, picking up the petals, pushpanjali into the heart, serving them forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, and then hands onto the hips. From here, we'll find some bend through the knees, pour the weight into the left leg, get light through the right leg, and then we'll step the right leg back. You can adjust, take more steps as you need, and we will find Virabhadrasana 2 here. So hips are opening out to the side, shoulders are opening out to the side, arms can come out wide. Front knee shines out over the middle toe. Gaze comes out over the front fingers. Opening wide through the hips, broad across the heart, across the chest, wide across the shoulder blades. From here, we can bring our back hand onto our hip. And we'll find some one-handed offerings with our front hand. So we can scoop down, cupping the hands, reaching up, little side bend here as we shower the petals down over ourselves. And we draw the hand down through the center and back out. We'll try this again. We'll scoop the palm upwards, reaching upwards with those petals, showering them down over ourselves, and then reaching down to the center of the chest, reaching forward, scooping one last time, one-handed pushpanjali, showering over ourselves, drawing the hands down, and reach out again anytime you want to in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. You can gather your legs in if you're getting some fire in your thighs. Take a deep breath and exhale, coming back more deeply into the posture. From here, we'll start to move into extended side angle pose. So we will take an inhale, broadening across the chest. Exhale, sliding both shoulders along an imaginary wall until the elbow meets the knee. And from here, the top arm reaches in one long line from the back ankle, the back heel, pressing into the mat. You can invite the top shoulder back any amount. And then bring this, our front hand, our bottom hand here, into a pushpanjali, a gentle cup. We'll take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, pressing into the ground, allowing for that to bring us upright again. Bring the hands back to the hips and pivot forward, coming up through the back heel. And then taking as many steps as we need to come forward into Tadasana at the front of the mat. Take a few breaths here in Tadasana, and when you're ready, we'll start in to the second side. So we can inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, sitting down to gather up the petals. Pushpanjali into the heart. Exhale to serve forward. Inhale to shower up, legs straighten. Hands come back to our heel, to our hips again. And from here, we'll put our weight in through the right leg. Step back slowly, gently through the left leg, and then make whatever adjustments we need to find Virabhadrasana 2. Knee is bent, shining out over the middle toe. And from here, we can reach the arms out, bring the gaze towards the front fingers. Spreading wide across the chest and broadening across the shoulder blades. We bring our back hand in towards our hip, and from here, we'll find the one-handed offering with our front hand, scooping low, gathering up petals, and then reaching up, straight arm, letting the petals shower down. Hand draws down the center of the body, reaching the hand forward, and then gathering up another offering of petals. Reaching up, side bend, front knee stays bent. Gathering the hand down through the center of the body. Reaching out, and for the last time, scooping up the petals. Straight arm, shining upwards, petals showering down. Hands come in, draw through heart center. You can find our Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And from here, we can take an inhale, pressing down through both feet. And as we exhale, sliding shoulders along an imaginary wall until the elbow comes to the level of the knee. We make a cup An offering with this palm up towards the ceiling. And then pressing strongly through the back foot, the outside edge of the back foot, finding a long straight line along the leg, along the hip, along the spine, and then up through our top arm, inviting the top shoulder back any amount. And finding the breath slow and even in and out of the nose. From here, we can press down into our feet and using that strength, come back, rising into Virabhadrasana 2. Bring both hands into the hips, start to pivot forward. The back heel will pivot up. And we can take as many steps as it takes to find ourselves in Tadasana at the front of the mat. Getting ready to say goodbye to standing practice. So from here, we'll reach up with the hands, reach out, scoop low, in to the petals. Pushpanjali comes into the heart. Exhale, serving this offering forwards. Inhale, arms come up, and from here, we'll swan dive forward as the arms reach wide, knees stay bent. Allowing the hips to move back, shins stay vertical. And the back is long, back of the neck is long, head is heavy. From here, we'll start to move towards a seated position. So whatever way makes sense to you, you could come down to your knees first and then to seated. Or if it's comfortable, you could come into a squat and then find a seated position. We will do another heart opening for the chest here and opening through the shoulders. Option here, you could have your legs in a regular cross-legged Sukhasana position. If you wanted to kneel and come into Virasana, you could do so with a cushion along kind of like a bike seat in between your two calves. If you're used to Gomukhasana, cow face pose, with one knee on top of the other, feel free to take that also. We can start with this strap over top of the right shoulder. We'll press down into our foundation, into the tops of our feet, into our sitting bones, grow up tall through the spine. You can reach the left arm up and then bend the left elbow and hold on to the strap. From here, the right arm can come out, the thumb points down, and then back to grab the strap. So the goal here is to stay tall through the spine and to serve the heart forward. To mean the head is coming back, the spine is tall and straight. So often this is best accomplished with the hands a little bit further apart. So my backhand here is almost at my sacrum, right down at my pelvis. And the head could gently press back into the upper arm. And for an opening, widening through the chest. Feeling the inhales expand the rib cage. Maybe expand in between the shoulder blades. Maybe even expanding around the collarbones. We'll take one more deep breath like this and then gently let go of the strap. You can bring your arms out. If you like, you can move around a little bit. Enjoy the feeling in your shoulders. Take a moment just to notice if one side feels a little different than the other. Breathe into both sides of the lungs. Notice how they feel. And then we can prepare for the other side. So we'll bring the strap over to the other side. Maybe the other arm that we bring up top. Bend the elbow. Catch hold of the strap. And then now this is our bottom arm. Thumb points down. And then reaching back. Finding the back of the hip or the pelvis. And then finding a strap at around that level. Drawing the tummy in, that helps to keep the spine tall, giving strength and height. Keeping the back of the neck long, keeping the chin gently tucked in. So we are gently pressing into the upper arm. Breathing into a lengthening and opening around the armpits, around the rib cage, above the collarbones, maybe between the shoulder blades. If you were doing Gomukhasana legs, you would also want to trade which knee was on top when we trade arms. Slow, even breaths in and out of the nose. The best way to relax and open is to breathe length into the body. Gentle and easy, so that the muscles don't feel they have to contract to protect themselves as they would if we were trying to force ourselves open. Take one more deep breath here. As we exhale, we can start to relax the arms out and take a bit of a wiggle, a bit of movement through the shoulders. We can bring our hands to our thighs. Just notice how both shoulders feel, both sides of the neck, maybe both sides of the chest, opening at the heart. From here, we can come into Upavishta Konasana, a wide angle pose. If you find that it's your back is sort of slumping and your shoulders are caving forward, it might be nice to sit up on something. If your block is too high, it might be that a folded blanket or a towel is enough, or even your mat folded up a few times. I'm done with the strap for now. It might be nice to have a block in front of us. So from here, the toes point up, roll the shoulders back, really serving the heart forward. And then if we have the hands out in front of us, you can think about drawing the elbows back. So drawing the elbows back helps the shoulder blades to meet behind the spine, so the heart to serve forward. We also want to do this without the abdomen dumping forward, so we want to keep the lower back long as well. So keep drawing in on your tummy muscles. So the lower back is long, the upper back, helping the heart to rise forward and up. You may feel that walking your hands forward a little bit, provided you can keep your lower back long, keep your lower back from slumping, and keep your elbows moving backwards so your heart keeps serving forward. might feel okay to walk the hands forward a little bit. Maybe keep the hands on a block so the elbows can be bent. For some people, it's comfortable to come down so that their chest is on the block, or maybe their chest is laying on the floor. That's perfectly fine if that works for your body. The priority always is the alignment. And in this posture, that is length through the low back, heart serving forward rather than rounding. Breathing length into the hips, into the inner thighs, allowing for the tail to open backwards. And that feels like enough. We can sort of walk back gently. Set any props off to the side. We could use the hands to help bend the knees, maybe bring the feet together. Bring your hands out behind us and take a gentle windshield wiper with the legs. The feet can be spread apart. And then from here, we can start to roll onto our mat. Pulling down. And pull the right knee in. Let the left leg be straight. Tadasana. Drawing in on the knee alongside the rib cage. Allowing the hips to be aligned. And you can bring both knees in, give a little hug, bring a little rock side to side. And hold on to the left knee this time, allowing the right knee to stretch out. Drawing the knee in alongside the rib cage. And that feels like enough. You can hug both knees in again. A little rock side to side. And then as you feel ready, start to your feet down. Stretch your feet out. Legs go straight onto the floor, one at a time. And you can start to find your way into Savasana. This would be a good time to put on socks or get a shawl or a blanket. Maybe put on a sweater. And we'll finish this practice with a final relaxation here in Savasana. And let your feet flop lazily onto their sides. Ankles loose and relaxed. Letting the muscles of your lower legs pull out, relax, sinking into the mat. Your knees juicy and alive. The muscles of your thighs untangling from one another, unfurling, spreading out, sinking into the mat. Relaxing through all the muscles of your hips and allowing the left and right hip to move apart from one another, just slightly. Just enough so that your sacrum, the lowest part of your spine, can fully contact the mat, pressing its little triangle shape as your body grows heavier. Feeling your spine contact the mat. Feeling your ribs expand with every inhale. And on every exhale, feeling your entire rib cage sink a little more deeply into the mat. Allowing all the muscles of your shoulders to relax. Letting the left and right shoulder drift apart a little bit. Making space for your spine. Allowing the full shoulder blade of each shoulder to fully relax down and contact the mat. The whole triangle of each shoulder blade bone, making its imprint in the mat. Muscles of the upper arms can grow heavy. Letting go of any gripping or tension in the forearms. Allowing the palm to shine up towards the sky. A gentle curl of the fingers. Relaxing through all the muscles of the neck. All the muscles of the jaw. Little muscles around the ears. Around the eyes. The temples. Across the forehead, smooth out and relax. The Aparigraha practice. Nice practice to remind us of all that we have to share. Like an inexhaustible supply of spiritual petals. What else can we offer to ourselves and to those around us? Maybe gentleness, smile, kindness, laughter, maybe forgiveness. And start to bring some movement into your fingers, into your toes. Maybe circling through your wrists, your ankles. Maybe gently turning your head from side to side. If you like, reaching your arms up alongside your head for a big stretch. Maybe yawn. And then when you feel ready, you can roll yourself onto your right hand side. You can use your arm like a pillow for your head. Bend your knees. Take a moment here to consolidate the practice. Think about how it went, what you noticed, how you felt. And then without attaching any judgment to this practice, good or bad, we can put it behind us. We can thank it and kiss it goodbye. And then gently come up to a seated position. Thank you for joining the Aparigraha practice. I hope that it leaves you with a feeling of generosity and helps you incorporate the yama of non-hoarding. Namaste.